It is exactly 9 p.m. East African time. A very good evening to you, wherever you're watching us from, and welcome to Hope TV Newswatch on this 25th day of November. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and Boniface Murithi is our sign language interpreter. Nyamira Governor Amos Nyaribo has been impeached. This is after 23 members of County Assembly voted in favor of the impeachment motion that was sponsored by Bonyamatuta Ward MCA Julius Matwere. The motion is expected to proceed to the Senate to determine his fate. Jacob Ochiro begins our bulletin with the following report.
We executed corrupt practices in management of county affairs.
Nyamira Governor Amos Nyaribo has been removed from the office by way of impeachment by the County Assembly of Nyamira County. Members of the County Assembly present in the chambers voted unanimously to impeach Nyaribo, with 23 out of the total 31 members of the County Assembly voting for the motion. The mover of the motion, Bonyamatuta MCA Julius Matwere, outlined the grounds of impeachment, one being supporting the activities of a parallel County Assembly which, according to him, is disrespect to the people of Nyamira who voted for them.
The government's actions to formally engage in those under law and support an unlawful, illegal and unconstitutional bunge mashinani directly undermines the legislative representation and oversight role of the County Assembly of Nyamira as established by the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the County Governments Act 2012, thereby constituting a gross violation of rule of law and the principle of separation of powers.
Councils representing the governor rubbished that ground, saying that the governor acted in accordance to a gazette notice that had gazetted the Bunge Mashinani.
When the former Speaker of this House was gazetting Bunge Mashinani, there were existing court orders, which I have referred to, Honorable Speaker, and showing the governor is a law-abiding citizen and as head of the executive had to oblige to those court orders, Your Lordship, Mr. Speaker, sir. May it be on record that the County Assembly, this House, being aggrieved by the said gazette notice, gazetting Bunge Mashinani, which is Gazette Notice 14229 of 2024, moved the court. So it is evident that there was an issue. The Assembly was not amused by the existence of Bunge Mashinani.
After debate, votes were cast and the 2/3 threshold was met. Previous attempts to impeach Nyaribo in 2023 and 2024 failed due to the inability to attain the 2/3 threshold to impeach a governor.
23, no, 0, abstain, 0, total number of valid and votes cast, 23.
Nyaribo was on the radar of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC, who raided his house and offices in October 29th over corruption allegations concerning a 382 million shillings tender. The motion is expected to be presented before the Senate for the senators to determine his fate. For Newswatch, my name is Jacob Ochiro.
Thank you so much, Jacob, for that report. Moving on swiftly, and preparations for the Mbeere North by-election are now complete, with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission holding a security coordination meeting to ensure a smooth voting process. The Commission says all logistical arrangements are in place as candidates and voters prepare for Thursday's poll, aiming for a free, fair and credible election in the constituency.
So there is no cause for alarm. The agents of all the political parties concerned will be there. There'll be observers, there'll be media. So there's no need to be concerned about the issue. I think what we want to assure the country is that we want to give them a credible election. And each and every agent, each and every stakeholder has a role to play, including even the youth, the other stakeholders, the observers. They have a responsibility. The youth are the ones who are also going to conduct the elections at the polling stations. They are the ones who are going to give, they identify people, they are going to give ballot papers.
One of the reasons for which we have come here is to ensure that there is sufficient security to enable elections to go on peacefully on the 27th of November.
We are ready to conduct free, fair and credible election. And I would wish to ask our voters, when you cast your vote, please accept to leave the polling stations, because that is the requirement of the law, so that we can be able to conduct our work in a professional and transparent manner.
Now, still matters the by-elections. Civic watchdog Vocal Africa says preliminary findings ahead of Thursday's mini polls reveal a tense political atmosphere. The group reports rising incidents of violence and the misuse of state resources, warning that these factors could compromise the integrity of the by-elections. Authorities and the Electoral Commission are being urged to act quickly to ensure a free and fair vote.
Based on these preliminary findings, Vocal Africa offers the following recommendations to strengthen electoral integrity, secure peaceful participation, and restore public confidence in the upcoming by-elections. 1. To the National Police Service. Enhance security deployment in Kasipul, Kabondo, and Mbeere North. These two areas have recorded multiple violent incidents on different dates. The police must prioritize active, visible, and impartial security presence to deter violence, protect candidates, safeguard campaign agents, and reassure voters.
Away from that, and the human rights activists in Kenya have continued to raise concerns over the state of security and governance in Tanzania, calling for international accountability of alleged human rights violations. Leaders from various non-government organizations made their remarks when they visited the gravesite of the late Prime Minister Raila Odinga at Kang'o Kajaramogi in Bondo, Siaya County, where they paid tribute to Odinga as an ambassador of justice in Africa. Glory Nkada with more on this.
According to human rights advocates, the ongoing situation in Tanzania is one of social and political repressions that must be stopped immediately. This is according to the executive director of the Kenya Human Rights Commission, Davis Malombe, who has called out accountability from Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu, accusing her administration for widespread human rights violations.
We are therefore calling for accountability on Suluhu, because its conduct actually is a gross violation of human rights. And also this idea of also mismanaging elections, and then when people contest the outcome, you also violate their rights. It's also something we are looking into.
He has asked the International Criminal Court ICC to intervene, insisting that the recent protests in Tanzania have been driven by citizens frustrated by what he describes as dictatorship and poor governance. Malombe also warned against what he termed as cover-up and whitewashing tactics allegedly being employed by authorities. The executive director of the Transparency and Social Accountability Institution, TISA, Diana Gishengo, said that in honoring the late Odinga, a renowned defender of human rights, Kenya's civil society organizations have written to human rights bodies across Africa, urging them to intervene in the ongoing violation in Tanzania.
We are here because Baba was a human rights defender who was violated, tortured, and still carried on the struggle. Baba was a believer in democracy and he led us.
According to the executive director of Transparency International Kenya, Sheila Masinde, the late Raila's Odinga influence in good governance and liberation movement stood in strong opposition to the repression currently being witnessed in Tanzania.
Just give also our appreciation to the family, and also to say that even as much as Baba is gone, the spirit and the vision that he had for a free Kenya, liberated Kenya, for the third liberation, that we continue with that agenda in the work and interventions that we continue to do in terms of governance and human rights protection.
Reporting for Newswatch, my name is Glory Nkatha.
Thank you so much, Glory, for that report. Moving on swiftly, President William Ruto has praised the long-standing and strong partnership between Kenya and the European Union, saying it provides opportunities for Kenyan agricultural products to access the EU market duty-free. The head of state made these remarks during his meeting with the President of the European Council, Antonio Costa, on the sidelines of the 7th Africa-Europe Summit and the second meeting of the Special Committee assessing institutional reforms in the AU held in Angola.
Congratulations on your election, and we really look forward to working with you. President Michel was a good friend of ours. We worked with him, and we know that you're picking up from a good place, and you will make it better. We are very confident about that. So thank you very much for this.
Now, world leaders, educators and youth advocates have gathered in Nairobi for a critical summit aimed at protecting education in war zones. The 5th International Conference on the Safe Schools Declarations marks a decade of the global commitment to keep students and teachers safe from harm, as Tracy Onsoti now reports.
Excellencies and friends, the states that have signed the Safe Schools Declaration are therefore duty bearers. That isn't just a symbolic point, it's a legal and moral responsibility.
10 years after the declaration was first adopted, new analysis by the Global Coalition to Protect Education from Attack shows attacks on schools, teachers and students have nearly tripled in the last 5 years alone.
Where have we done it right?
Kenya's leadership is framing the discussion not simply as an education issue, but as a core international security priority. During the event, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi demanded a global commitment to enforce the declaration through strong legal and military deterrence.
The most recent data from the 2025 Children in Armed Conflict report includes 41,370 incidents, the highest number of grave violations against children in armed conflict since the inception of the mandate almost 30 years ago, and a 25% increase compared to the previous year. Most grave violations showed an increase, including, as we have already heard here this morning, a shocking 44% increase in verified reports of attacks on schools and a 34% increase in rape and other forms of sexual violence.
Education Cabinet Secretary Dr. Migos Ogamba has championed for community-level resilience and accountability in schools. His contribution to the Nairobi plan focuses on embedding national safety protocols and ensuring full compliances across the education system to make schools truly safe havens.
We are working tirelessly to integrate the principles of the Safe Schools Declaration across our education and security frameworks. We recognize that insecurity disrupts learning, and therefore we are strengthening inter-ministerial coordination to reduce risks to learners, teachers, and the schools.
The Global Coalition to Protect Education from Attacks, Education Under Attack, report highlights that attack continues to displace millions and disrupt learning for the entire generations, and the goal of the Nairobi conference is to stop reversal of progress.
Focus should be on practical solutions, preventing the military use of schools, protecting teachers and learners, ensuring accountability for attacks, restoring access to learning, strengthening national monitoring, and mobilizing greater investment in education during crisis, because without funding, aspirations will remain unfulfilled.
With co-host Norway, the original champion of the declaration, leading the policy discussion, the conference is focused on practical measures, which is training armed forces and ensuring clearer pathways to justice. For Newswatch, I'm Tracy Onsoti.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for that report. Now, that story by Tracy takes us to a short news break, but immediately after, I'll be back with the business and sports news. Stick around.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience.
Hakuja kuwa, hakutakuwa. Niwe nina hitaji. Mimi nataka ushirika na wewe.
Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship.
Ainuliwe Mungu wetu.
Where we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointing. anointed gospel ministers and bands.
Nashangilia Mwokozi.
Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Everywhere I go, I see you right there.
It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. It's ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Are you ready now?
At the age of 25 is where there is also another change, because the frontal cortex, this part of the head, the maturity now of the brain happens at that time, which is responsible for intellectual abilities, decision makings, and like the executive area of the brain. Again, it comes with other challenges. Now that I am who I am, you withdraw further from people. Then the other stage that comes in, sometimes it can come early from the age of 35 all the way to 55. Midlife crisis. Midlife crisis. So the man is trying to catch up with the lost time. Unajua anajaribu kuingia kwa hawa vijana because they lost the time, they don't fit. Unapata jamaa anaacha koti avae, lakini wao wamevaa
Jiji wao wamevaa koti. Are you trying to communicate?
Are you trying to fit? So like, so like they are trying to fit, but as they move closer to this generation, now ina move away. Inasonga, ukikuja inasonga. So then the loneliness increases, and in fact it is that critical stage where, in the field of psychology, we teach the men to begin to prepare themselves for that package of retirement.
Catch past episodes on our YouTube channel at Hope TV Kenya.
Men on Record, every Friday at 7 p.m.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Hope TV Newswatch. Now let's get down to business. Family Bank Group has posted a strong financial performance, recording a 56% rise in profit after tax to 3.5 billion shillings for the 9 months to September. The growth was fueled by higher interest income, a bigger asset base, and steady customer deposits. CEO Nancy Njau says the results reflect ongoing digital expansion and SME-focused strategies as the bank prepares for a planned NSE listing in 2026.
In terms of our digital readiness, we find that over 92% of our transactions are happening digitally. And we have an aim, we have an aspiration that within no time we should be able to have 98% of our transactions happening through our digital platforms. What does that mean? We have invested heavily in our digital platforms, our mobile platforms, our internet banking, other payment solutions, collection solutions that we are giving to our customers, so that we can leave our physical branches just as service and sales centers.
Our balance sheet as at September closed at 202.5 billion. And I want to put some perspective into that number. In June, year 2021, our balance sheet closed 100 billion mark. Today, we are looking at 202, meaning in 4 years, we've managed to double the size of Family Bank.
Moving on swiftly, and Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe has urged Chinese authorities to fast-track tariff cuts and clear long-pending approvals for Kenyan agricultural and livestock products. In talks with senior GACC officials, he warned that Kenya's trade deficit with China remains unsustainable and called for swift action on promised zero-duty access for commodities like coffee, tea, avocados, and dried produce.
But I'm particularly happy to hear that the zero tariff idea, because for us it was ranging between 8 and 20%, some of it even higher than that. So it will make a big difference to the Kenyan product, and I have no doubt that you'll soon be drinking Kenya tea, even as the Chinese tea are there. We drink Chinese tea sometimes, so it is good that you get very good tea from Kenya, because a lot of it is going to the Middle East and other parts of Asia. When the president was in China lately, they developed a very robust trading agreement and trading regime, which we in the Ministry of Agriculture would like to take advantage of. So we are very happy to see you here.
As for the imbalance of trade, actually one of our important purpose to visit Kenya is to conduct the discussion with your industry of trade. We did it with them yesterday early morning, and we discussed about implement zero tariff to all tariff lines, and we have conducted a very active progress, and therefore once your products can enter China with zero tariff, including tea, coffee, avocado, and etc., and you may enter Chinese market with lower cost.
All right, and to some sporting action now. Kenya's junior stars are through to the semi-finals of the Under-17 AFCON qualifiers after 2-0 win over South Sudan in Addis Ababa. Derek Hatete opened the scoring early before Trevor Nasasiro sealed the victory late on. The team now turns focus on their final group match against host Ethiopia on Wednesday at 3 p.m.
Ethiopia, a very strong side. A side that possesses the top scorer of the tournament, a side that has the home-based fans basically backing them. For us, is actually to try and present ourselves for a good play, whereby we need to remain well disciplined, actually tactically, for us to try to contain them. They have good runners, physically they are better, and being the fact that the 12th man will be pushing them, it means that if you are going to contain them by very good ball circulation, then again it is going to be a good game to watch. But I think it's a game to watch. I want to see whether from their side they are also going to rest people. It's something that we want to see if both teams are going to rest players. But eventually whoever will be given an opportunity has to try and stand up for it.
Meanwhile, Harambee Starlets are in camp ahead of Wednesday's international friendly against Algeria at the Mustafa Chaka Stadium in Blida, kicking off at 7 p.m. East African time. Players Mana Halima Adam and Shalene Opisa say the team is focused on sharpening tactics, improving fitness, and building chemistry as they look to test themselves against strong opposition ahead of upcoming Africa qualifiers.
Sisi kama Starlet kesho tunaanza friendly yetu na Algeria. So for me naweza sema tuko ready, preparation iko sawa, wachezaji wako sawa, kila mtu wako sawa, tuko tayari. Wacha kesho tupambanie nchi na tujipambanie. AFCON ndio hiyo iko mbele yetu next year. Sisi kama Starlet tuko ready, tutapambana venye sisi tunapambana daily. Haitakuwa rahisi, but teamwork makes dream work. Sisi wote tukishikana pamoja na Wakenya, dua zenyu, kila kitu itakuwa fine. So, mimi mwenyewe personal na feel happy. Last time 2016 siku make, nilikuwa na team but siku make the exam. But now niko kwa kati ya wachezaji wengine. So mimi
mood ya players iko juu. Kila mtu ako ready against Algeria, na tunajua training tumepewa na coaches, tomorrow tunaenda kupata the points for the first match and the second match. Na tuna believe training iko juu, kila kitu iko juu. Players wako na hiyo mood ya game, na apart from the weather, najua tunaenda ku make it tomorrow. Ni idea poa kwa coaches juu hizi build up zinaenda kuonyesha ni wapi tuko na nini tunaweza fanya as a team, na kama tuko ready ku win AFCON.
And finally, preparations for the third Great Chepsite across country are in full swing, with the organizers promising a big event on December 6th. Event patron Farouk Kibet, joined by Athletics Kenya officials and the local committee, inspected the venue and expressed confidence that everything will be ready on time.
Watoto wawili, msichana na kijana, I'm going to sponsor them. Nitawapatia sponsor waende is it called World Cross Country. Itafanyikia wapi? Florida. Mimi mwenyewe personal nitawalipia tiketi na accommodation, wapeleke macho so that waone dunia ingine. Najua kusaliwa Chepsite is not enough. It's also enough to travel. Na itakuwa furaha yangu kwamba naweza kuenua. Sasa inategemea mtoto huyu atatoka kijiji ama kijiji gani. So nauliza tu watoto, nauliza wale wakimbiaji kwamba muwe tayari, mfanye zoezi iliyokuwa na, because we also need competition.
Haya mashindano ama hizi mbio zimeenua jina ya hii sehemu, kwa sababu Chepsite now it is on the global map. Kila mtu anajua Chepsite by name, na watu wakijua by name they will really want to come and see. So hapa hii itakuwa ni sports tourism. Itainua maneno ya sports tourism as well.
We want also the community to benefit from the medical programs that are going on, so that also they can see that this event coming here has continued to support them and to ensure that the benefits that they receive from here does not only benefit the athletes but also benefits the residents of this community. So I think we welcome you on that day. We have the first medical camp, which is the first one or the second, and then of course the day that will come. The athletes will be receiving their bib numbers. We'll also issue those statements on how they are going to get the bib numbers according to the rules that is given by World Athletics, so that by the time we run, everybody will have their bib numbers, and also the registration for the youth, especially the young ones, Kids Athletics, will continue until the 30th of this month before it is closed in preparation for the event.
Well done is the sports, so is the news tonight. But before I leave, allow me to fulfill my director's wish, just to bring you up to speed with some of the matches of the UEFA Champions League taking place tonight. And currently, Ajax are playing Benfica. The score is 1-0 in favor of Benfica. Galatasaray are playing Union Saint-Gilloise. The scoreline as per the 43rd minute is 0-0. At 11 p.m. East African time, Juventus will play Bodo Glimt. Napoli will play Karabag FK. Marseille will play Newcastle United. Borussia Dortmund will play Villarreal. And my director's team, that is Chelsea, will be playing Barcelona. And Man City will play Leverkusen at 11 p.m. East African time. And yeah, Athletic Club will play Slavia Praha at the same time, 11 p.m. And yesterday, Manchester United were thrashed 1-0 by 10-man Everton at Old Trafford. And today, Gor Mahia, it's actually our director's club, were thrashed 4-1 by APS Bomet. Well, with that, you come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for making time to watch Hope TV Newswatch. We really do appreciate the value of your time. On behalf of the amazing team that made this bulletin a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and Boniface Moredi has been our sign language interpreter.